Yellowstone is the oldest national park in the USA and in the world. It was here in the 20s of the last century, as part of a program to protect the deer population. Every single gray wolf was destroyed, as a result of which large ungulates bred, putting many plant species at risk. Therefore, 70 years later, as an experiment in Yellowstone, specially captured Canadian wolves were released, each of which was assigned a serial number. A total of 31 individuals were released into the wild, 5 of which became the basis of the most famous wolf pack in the world. These are Druids, named after the peak of the same name on the slopes of which they were released into freedom. Predators did not immediately achieve success. After a year, the leader of the pack was shot, and all decisions began to be made by the alpha female, calculating and rather aggressive. She did not tolerate competitors, therefore coyotes who gave themselves up for prey were given the harshest sentence. In the absence of wolves, coyotes had prospered, but with their return, the life of these distant relatives became noticeably more complicated. The main weapon of the wolf's powerful jaws, fangs up to 5 centimeters long close with incredible force, which helps to capture and hold prey. This is the most dangerous moment in the hunt, because a blow with a hoof to the head can be fatal. But the Druids have enough experience to prevent this because each hunter clearly plays his role. Large wolves are so strong that they can independently stop and knock down a deer to the ground. But even if the deed is done alone, all members of the pack are allowed to the meal. Every winter, thousands of red deer descend to the river. The weight of adult females exceeds 200 kilograms, which makes them extremely attractive prey, but catching them is not so easy. To overtake these fast animals, young and full of strength wolves are sent in pursuit. Their main task is to identify the weakest individuals who are easiest to overtake. A large pack needs a lot of meat, therefore, among the variety of prey, several targets are selected at once. After a sudden coup, the number of the pack sharply went uphill. The close-knit team was able to simultaneously raise 3 litters of puppies at once. Thus, at the end of 2000, in the ranks of the Druids, there were already 27 individuals. Almost treeless expanses of the Lamar Valley are the most valuable hunting grounds in Yellowstone. It was this territory that the Druids took under their control. Not a single piece of food obtained with difficulty goes to waste. 42 sharp and strong teeth are involved in cutting up the carcass, which easily grind even thick and hard bones. After several hungry days, the wolf does not limit itself in food and can eat up to 9 kilograms of meat at a time. In 2001, the females of the pack gave birth to 10 more cubs, and the number of individuals in it reached 37, which made the Druids the largest pack of North America and possibly the largest in the world. In pursuit of them, wolves show incredible endurance, not stopping even in front of water obstacles. Only complete dedication helps to reach the target and feed a huge pack. However, weather conditions are not always on the side of predators. In deep snow, huge males with long legs are more agile, and today the Druids will remain hungry. Despite their experience and strength, success ends only in 1 out of 4 attacks. Sooner or later, the balance of power changes. In 2004, the permanent alpha pair numbered 21 and 42 turned 9 years old, which significantly exceeds the average life expectancy of wild wolves. But even in old age, they skillfully led a pack of 11 individuals. They were still skillful in defending their land, but the years had taken their toll. In one of the skirmishes, the alpha female died, and after a couple of months, the alpha male was gone. Such an army was able not only to control their lands, but also to encroach on the territory of the Druids' neighbors. With a numerical advantage, brute force, and a competent alpha pair, they managed to displace neighboring packs, some of which even had to leave Yellowstone. But feeding a horde of hungry mouths was becoming increasingly difficult. When the younger generation reached the age of 1 year, many of them were expelled. Now they had to find a new home and try to join another group. A detachment of experienced hunters and young but full of strength teenagers can successfully hunt even bison, the largest ungulates of the continent. But the lands of the Druid are rich in deer, so they are still the best prey. For some time, the wolves held the territory, but sensing their weakness, a larger pack pushed the Druids aside for the first time in 10 years. Wolf fights can be very brutal, so during the battle, the defenders did not risk their lives and made the difficult decision to leave the lands that had become their real home. The last big victory of the Druids was their return to the Lamar Valley. 2 years later, they managed to recapture their lands, but later illnesses and brutal fights with competitors finally undermined the pack's power. In 2010, the Druids ceased to exist. Also, under the leadership of the Iron Lady, the pack dealt with wolves of neighboring clans. In addition, the alpha female strictly controlled the birth rate, not sparing even her own sister. She killed all her offspring. Such an act did not go unanswered, and 2 years later the representatives of the pack attacked the alpha female. Serious injuries became fatal for her, and that same sister, number 42, took her place, forming a pair with male number 21. But other packs remained. Today, about 90 wolves live in the park. In 25 years, they have noticeably reduced the number of deer, which caused rapid growth of trees and grass. As a result, coastal erosion has decreased, and one can even say that this system has regained its former appearance. If you liked the episode, support it with a like, comment, subscribe, and spend time usefully. See you soon!